Hello, my wonderful Hancock Street preschool friends. I have been missing you so much. I'm wondering how all of my friends are doing. I'm excited to be able to read a story to you today. I have one here already, but first I wanted to tell you I've been having so much fun seeing some of the creative things that you and your families are doing during this time that we're all spending time in our homes and with people that we love. And I'm so proud of you. You guys are all working so hard to stay healthy, keep the people around you healthy, and take care of the people that you love in your life. And it makes me so happy. But since nobody's here in my house with me from our school right now, I wanted to do one great big hug snowball to everybody in red class, everybody in blue class, and everybody that has their grown-ups and their grandparents and everybody in their life. So if you wanted to do one with me, we're going to grab it out right now. Get a big hug out of your heart and squeeze it down really big. And I'm going to put in so many kisses I can't even count. And then I'm going to throw it out my window on the count of 3. I hope you have yours ready. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That went out my window. I hope you're able to catch yours. It might come to you by the time I'm done reading this book. So I was noticing that our word of the week this week is daffodil. And in the red class a few weeks ago, we read this great book, and it's called That's Not a Daffodil. And I thought it's fun sometimes to reread a book that you've heard before because you can kind of know what the ending might be and help remember the story with me. But I'm not sure if the blue class has had a chance to read this yet, so I thought today would be a fun day to read a book about planting daffodils and watching them grow. So I'm going to start it right now, and I hope you're able to see the pictures. I'll try my best. This is called That's Not a Daffodil by Elizabeth Honey. One day, Mr. Yilmaz from next door called in with a basket of apples and a crumpled paper bag. "What is it?" asked Tom. "It's a daffodil," said Mr. Yilmaz. "That's not a daffodil," said Tom. "That's an onion." "Well, let's plant it and we'll see." So they planted the bulb with the pointy end up in a large round terracotta pot. "There," said Mr. Yilmaz, putting it down. "That will grow into a beautiful daffodil." Teacher Becky is remembering right now that I had the chance to plant a daffodil with everybody from red class and blue class this year. It was a special week because I got to teach both classes that week. And I saw some of our daffodils growing right before everybody started staying home. I wonder what they're doing right now. Oh, Tom watched the pot, but nothing happened. Nothing. And the next time Mr. Yilmaz dropped by, he asked, "How's the daffodil?" "It's not a daffodil," said Tom. "It's a desert." "Oh, then we will make it rain," said Mr. Yilmaz. So they made it rain and put it in the sun. When Mr. Yilmaz brought in a fine bunch of carrots, he said, "How's the daffodil?" "Don't know," said Tom. "Well, let's have a look," said Mr. Yilmaz. Something is happening. "Now what do you think?" asked Mr. Yilmaz. "Oh, it's not a daffodil," said Tom. "That's a green beak." Like a bird beak. "So it is," laughed Mr. Yilmaz. From time to time, Tom measured the beak. It was growing. And while Mr. Yilmaz was away in Turkey, the green beak opened up. "How's the daffodil?" asked Mr. Yilmaz when he came home. "It's not a daffodil," said Tom. "It's a hand with 5 flat fingers." It does kind of look like a hand. "Green fingers," agreed Mr. Yilmaz. One blustery winter's day, Mr. Yilmaz blew in with a large pumpkin. "How's the daffodil, Tom?" "That's not a daffodil. That's Grandpa's hair in the wind." Mr. Yilmaz chuckled. "He needs a haircut." It was pouring rain when Mr. Yilmaz brought in a bucket of lemons. Ah, now we can see the bud of the daffodil, said Mr. Yilmaz. What's that, a daffodil? Said Tom. That's a wet rocket. To the moon? Asked Mr. Yilmaz. To the moon, said Tom. One day, Mr. Yilmaz brought his grandchildren to play. Layla and little Khan and their big bouncy dog, Karabash. They were trying to catch Karabash when he bounded away and knocked the pot. "Wah!" cried little Khan. "Call the plant ambulance," said Layla. "Mr. Yilmaz," said Tom. Oops. I wonder what will happen. Mr. Yilmaz helped them put and pat the soil back in. "Will it still grow?" asked Tom. "I believe so," said Mr. Yilmaz. "The roots have not been disturbed. Now let's give it a drink, Layla, and put some water in that bird bath too." In a couple of days, the daffodil wasn't floppy anymore. "How's the daffodil after its little bump?" asked Mr. Yilmaz. "It's not a daffodil," said Tom. "It's a street light." Mr. Yilmaz smiled. "Shining yellow. Spring's not far away." When Tom came home from a weekend at his grandma's, he ran to look in the backyard. "Mr. Yilmaz!" cried Tom. "Mr. Yilmaz! Ask the question!" How's the daffodil?" laughed Mr. Yilmaz. "Quick! Come look." "Oh," said Mr. Yilmaz. "Now, is that a daffodil?" Tom nodded his head. "That is a daffodil. Yes. But it's also a trumpet of gold." It does look like a trumpet of gold. I wonder if you're able to see any daffodils in your neighborhood or in your yard. I think I might have some growing in my backyard, but they're white. Later today, I'll try and take a chance to take a picture, but I'm going to wait for it to stop raining. I hope you're having a sunshiny day, and I'll read you another story soon. Goodbye, HSP.